They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh! Iguodala to Curry. Back to Iguodala. Up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. He gets to Jordan. Jordan to the circle. Puts the shot in the air. Good! The game's over. And the Bulls have won.
All right, everyone, welcome back. It's your favorite sports show on YouTube, Voice from the Bleachers.
The hottest basketball channel out there on YouTube.
Hey, we also do soccer vids, don't forget.
Check out our last video about Philippe Coutinho and Barcelona and the transfer window.
Yeah, but we're here today to talk about a couple players that were slept on coming into this NBA year.
Donovan Mitchell and Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah.
Just to name a few. We made a video a few months ago about Ben Simmons and how he was running with the Rookie of the Year vote. And it seems like these two guys are kind of climbing up the leaderboards. Yeah. What are your thoughts on the season so far?
Before we said Ben Simmons was running away with the Rookie of the Year, but these guys are in serious contention. Donovan Mitchell went 13th this year in the draft, Kyle Kuzma 27th respectively.
It's crazy. Kuzma especially, the Lakers have been finding some gems late in the drafts the last few seasons, whether that's Clarkson, Zubac. But Kuzma's crazy considering he went to Utah for 4. He's 22 years old.
He's 22, yeah.
And the Lakers took him 27th overall, basically the throwaway in the Brooklyn Nets trade.
They swapped picks 26, 27.
And they also draft Lonzo Ball, who's supposed to be the big rookie in town. Yeah. And Kuzma's actually been the better player so far.
Kuzma's been stealing sort of the show in LA. They even have a chant for him when he's on the court. They say Kuz. So he's really stealing the limelight from Lonzo in LA.
It's crazy, 17 points, 6 rebounds so far. He's been very good for the Lakers in a season that it's turning into a lost season, and they need to pick it up.
They're quickly slipping away.
They don't want Boston to keep the pick. But it's crazy to think that with Lonzo in town, Kuzma has been the better rookie. And speaking of rookie guards like Lonzo, Donovan Mitchell has also been seeing the spotlight from him.
Could you imagine Donovan Mitchell went to a small market like Utah. If he was putting up these numbers he's putting up now in LA, he'd be considered the biggest.
Imagine if Donovan Mitchell went to UCLA with a dad like that and then ended up at the Lakers or the Knicks and was putting up these numbers. It's crazy to think what he could be doing, and he's been a machine. 18 points so far, 23 points since the December 1st.
Yeah, if you did a whole redraft, these guys are easily top 5 picks if you had to do it all over again.
I think based on potential, I think Fultz and Lonzo you still take them, even though with Fultz the injuries kind of hurt. But yeah, I mean top 10 at the very least.
Yeah, you look at some teams like Portland who took Zach Collins, Detroit who took Luke Kennard, really thinking like
Charlotte with Malik Monk.
If they could do it again, they would jump on these players easily. In our opinion, these two players look like they can be superstars in the league, and we've drawn a couple comparisons between them and some other players that we think have similar play styles.
So as it has been noted previously in the YouTube community, Donovan Mitchell compares favorite to Russell Westbrook. Maybe Russell Westbrook with a jump shot. Yeah. Shout out Mike Rizemba for the opinion. So when you compare the rookie stats, years, they're very similar. Donovan Mitchell averaged 18 points, Westbrook averaged 15. Yeah. Mitchell was around 3 assists, 3 rebounds. Westbrook was around 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Very similar. The dip in points and rise in assists for Westbrook resulted in taking 2 less shots. He had Durant on his team, he had to share the ball a little more, and that's why he turned it over 1 more time per game. Yeah. While Mitchell scores a little bit more and assists less because he doesn't have a Durant on his team to pass the ball to. Now, if Hayward had stayed in Utah and stayed healthy, he would have probably had more assists, and Utah would be a much better team. Yeah,
I think, in my personal opinion, Donovan Mitchell has real superstar potential. And to think that the team that was supposed to take him, the Denver Nuggets, traded him for Trey Lyles.
Not only that, that's crazy, right? But the whole season we've heard how they need guards. Yeah. They got Jokic, they got Millsap. That's a great front court, but they need guards. Yeah. And Donovan Mitchell would have been perfect for them in Denver. Yeah. Even
though Donovan Mitchell is considered sort of a combo guard, we're not sure if his best position's at the 1 or 2, but it doesn't really matter in this positionless basketball era. You just need him on the court. He'll put up.
When he's on the court, you need the ball in his hands. Yeah. I think that's where it all goes. So he compares favorite to Westbrook, who's developed one of the better players in the league. His jump shot is better. Yeah. Which bodes well for his future.
And I think with more attempts, his numbers are just going to go up. Player that we think has a similar play style to Kyle Kuzma is a guy named Rashard Lewis. I don't know if you guys remember him from Seattle days, also in Orlando.
Well, he was the second best player on the 09 Magic. And he had some great seasons, 3 20-point seasons, 2-time All-Star. Yeah. So a very good player that you don't expect to find at 27th overall.
Yeah. So here we compare Kyle Kuzma's stats right now with Rashard Lewis's stats. in his 4th season, which would make them the same age, 22.
22.
So Kyle Kuzma is averaging 17.2 points per game, and Rashard Lewis averaged 16.8. So very similar. They're taking about the same amount of shots. They rebound both very well. Same number of assists, actually. Rashard Lewis was a bit of a better defensive player, but they both have similar play styles and both play the
Field
same
goal percentage and 3-point percentage nearly identical.
Yeah. So we think that's a fair comparison for Kyle Kuzma in today's NBA. So we kind of see with Mitchell and Kuzma that they both have more refined games. Do you think that's maybe more because they stayed longer in college, or?
I think so. We've seen with Lonzo coming in and he's a little bit raw. We've seen with De'Aaron Fox. I mean, the guys that we're picking, you guys like Josh Jackson, De'Aaron Fox, Jonathan Isaac, their numbers don't reflect the type of prospects they were. Maybe it's because they weren't as refined. Now, does that mean that they should have stayed longer in college? I don't know. But we're seeing with Mitchell and Kuzma, they're having success earlier than they would have expected because they have the more experience in college. More minutes playing significant basketball than they would have in the NBA.
Yeah, even I know I heard a quote from Donovan Mitchell. He was asked why he didn't put up these numbers when he was at his time at Louisville, and he's mentioned that because he's not a student anymore, he's not taking 5 classes a semester. He's only focusing on strictly basketball, so that's why his numbers, we've seen him take such a leap in his game.
Which I've heard from Draymond Green in the past.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. I still think the NBA coaching and playing in the NBA is better for you than the college game, even if it's staying longer. But it goes to show you that sometimes you have a lot to gain by staying longer. If you're not a top prospect, like Buddy Hield was like that a few years ago.
Yeah. So that's all we really have to say about these guys. Both great players, both great prospects. We're really excited to see how they do for the rest of the season and how their futures are in the NBA.
I think a lot of teams are kicking themselves for passing on him.
For sure.
Especially, I think Mitchell. A lot of teams took guards ahead of him, like Dennis Smith, Frankie Nicotine. It's too early to tell whether or not they're not going to be as good as Donovan Mitchell, but so far they have to be kicking themselves, and especially a team like the Knicks.
And you got to wonder what the scouting's like. How do you miss on a guy like that?
It goes to show you how much do you trust scouting and pre-draft process. So we'll see. And with Kuzma, it's pretty crazy that a guy that good slipped that far. I mean, as soon as Summer League started, his level really started to shine.
Yeah.
And not Summer League, but for a guy at 27th overall, it means a lot to see him playing that well. So I think
there's one more thing to touch on about those two guys that we haven't mentioned. I love the confidence that they both showed in post-game interviews and in their game. They have the green light, and it's very good.
Mitchell taking the last shot against the Cavs.
For sure.
Kuzma going up, not scared of anybody. So they're putting up these big numbers. That sometimes rookies need that confidence to play well.
These two guys aren't scared. That's all we really have to say. Thanks, guys, for watching our videos.
If you like our talks about the rookies, check our Ben Simmons video from a while back. If you like some soccer, we just posted a video recently. And thank you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share.
Yeah, tell your friends, tell your family. That's usually his line, but we're switching it up.
More NBA content coming soon. Enjoy the season.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you.